Hi, I'm Gary Napier with Space Systems Communications, and we're out here at the Kennedy Space Center getting ready to launch the GOES-R spacecraft, go up on an Atlas rocket. Launch is coming up really soon. But joining me is Tim Gasparini. Tim, tell us your role in the GOES-R mission.
Sure. I'm the program manager for the GOES-R spacecraft and also have responsibility for the instruments that we're building for it as well.
Very good. So GOES-R is an exciting program. I mean, it's a weather satellite, a geostationary weather satellite. We've never done one of those before. Tell us a little bit about GOES-R.
Well, GOES-R is the next generation geostationary weather satellite for the United States. And we have 6 instruments on the spacecraft, 2 of which look at the Earth and monitor the terrestrial weather. And then we've also got 4 instruments on the spacecraft that monitor space weather as well.
So we built the spacecraft out in Denver. Tell us, I mean, it's not just one spacecraft. There's how many of them?
No, we are building a series of 4 spacecraft for NOAA, and they're called GOES-R, S, T, and U. And when they get up on orbit, they give them numbers, and so GOES-R will become GOES-16. In addition to building the 4 spacecraft, we also built 12 of the instruments, 3 for each vehicle. We built an instrument that looks at the sun called SUBI. We also built the first of a kind ever at geostationary orbit, the geostationary lightning mapper, which monitors lightning on the Earth. And then we also are responsible for the magnetometer that flies on the spacecraft as well.
So more than just an Earth weather satellite, it's actually looking up at solar weather too?
It is. It's monitoring solar weather. We have, as I said, there's 4 instruments. We have a SUBI instrument which detects solar flares from the sun. There's an instrument built right up the street from our facility in Denver up at LASP at CU, which is called EXIS, which measures the intensity of those flares. And so as that geomagnetic storm comes to the Earth, NOAA has another satellite called Discover that they launched last year that measures some of the strength of that geomagnetic storm as it comes by. And then once that storm gets to Earth, we have the SEIS instrument, which is built by a company out in Massachusetts, which measures the charged particles as they get to the Earth. And then we have the magnetometer that measures the effect of all that on the magnetic field of the Earth. So it's a pretty sophisticated set of instruments and multiple spacecraft that actually do space weather monitoring for NOAA.
Oh, very good. And there's a lot of work of GOES-R. It's not all just done in Denver from a Lockheed Martin standpoint. We're in a couple different other facilities too.
We are. The propulsion module for the GOES-R series spacecraft are made in Stennis, and the solar arrays are made in in Sunnyvale, and the two instruments are built in Palo Alto.
Wow. So we're actually here at the Kennedy Space Center press site. Tell us a little bit about this place.
Well, here's where they're getting ready to do the pre-launch press conference. We just had our launch readiness review, and which went very well, and we're cleared to launch. And so they will have the pre-launch press conference here, and then after launch, they typically have a post-launch press conference. But because we launch so late in the evening, we launch at about 6 o'clock in the evening, 5:43, and then it takes us 3.5 hours until the spacecraft separates. They won't be doing a post-launch press conference this time.
Very, very good. But so it's quite a few days of activities. We're actually here on what's called L-2, so 2 days prior to launch, and there'll be some more activities tomorrow, and then of course the launch is in the evening. Why is it going off at 5:42 in the evening?
That's our launch time so that we can start the activities to get to geostationary orbit. There's approximately 10 to 12 days of orbit raising, actually 9 days of orbit raising to get us up to geostationary orbit after we launch.
Very good. So I know you've been here many times before. We've been here together, but I know that you've worked on many different programs. They all haven't been weather. You've been involved in many of our planetary missions. Just give us a quick little look into some of the other missions that you've worked on before.
Well, let's see. I've worked on Juno and Phoenix Lander and a number of Mars missions, Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, Mars Odyssey, both of which are at Mars now, Mars Global Surveyor, Stardust. So I've had the opportunity to participate in a number of spacecraft that Lockheed Martin have built, and have the opportunity to been down here a number of times and participate in launch activity. You know, it's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do that.
Very good. Okay, well, we're at L-2. Launch is looking really good. Weather's good, right?
weather's phenomenal. You look at the weather map, and there's not a cloud in the sky for 750 miles. You know, it's just-
For a weather
this
satellite,
is
that's
great.
pretty good. Good thing we got those weather satellites up there.
Well, yeah, considering that we were already impacted by Hurricane Matthew, I mean, it's kind of payback, I guess. It's, you know, karma, the universe is balancing itself out.
Very good. So hopefully we'll get off on a good launch. And out here at Kennedy Space Center, Gary Napier, Tim Gaspery. Tim, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, glad to be here.